Welcome, WIN members, to another series in this video series, Understanding the Daily Financial Market Report. And I will be going over the probably the last two parts of this series. So this might be the second to the last video. Hopefully, if I get through everything quickly, it might just be the last part, but there's quite a bit to go over, and I wanted to give you guys also something like a case study so you guys can see with your own eyes how all of this really works. All right, so let's go ahead and get right into it. I covered all these other parts, so let's go over this section here. All right, we're gonna go over the symbols and the meanings. All right, so when you're gonna look at this report, you'll notice that there are a lot of different symbols. So take your time to go over all of these symbols. Take your time to understand what all these symbols really mean. And one of the most important symbols on here are the fire symbols. You're going to see this fire symbol. Basically, this symbol means when everything is aligned. So you're going to have a current market value along with current market movement. Whenever they're both aligned, that gives you the highest probability of achieving your profits. Okay, and when you see the up arrow, it just simply means that that particular asset is going in a buy direction. The down arrow means it's going in a sell direction. Now sometimes you'll see the little microscope symbol there. Just means that we're doing research. If you don't see anything on the calendar for that day, that means the research is being conducted. Very important research. Sometimes that usually happens whenever there's a huge market shift taking place, or extreme volatility, or there's certain events that are taking place from a fundamental perspective, elections or things of that nature that will cause the market to just go haywire. Usually we'll have that symbol during those times because it needs a lot more time to research what's going on in the market. The MAS, all right, basically it's the market alignment score, and there's also the formula here for the market alignment score if you want to know exactly what that represents. It's basically a division of it's the average based on how many fire symbols or how many assets are aligned divided by the amount of assets in that particular market that's depicted on this report. Okay, so for example, there's 30 Forex. Let's see, go ahead here. All right, so in the Forex market, there's a complete number of 30 assets that are displayed here in the Forex section. Okay, so you take the amount of fire symbols and you just divide it by 30, and that's it. You're gonna get your average. So that's all the MAS is the average. It gives you a good idea of what's taking place in that market. So we see now, as of Monday, today's Tuesday, the 9th, but as of Monday, the 8th, November 8th, the market was doing very, very well. So you'll find a lot of the profits across the board. You'll start to see if your account is diversified with different Forex currencies. You'll start to see your account pretty much explode in profit. Hopefully you're going in the right direction. Obviously, if you're going in the right direction, according to our daily financial market report, you'll see that. Okay, then that case study video I told you that I would do displays that. It demonstrates that. All right, so let's go ahead and continue on with the understanding the symbols and the meanings here. Ongoing trend. Basically, ongoing trend, you'll see that on the report here. Here's an example. You'll see here the first one here, AUD versus CAD, Australian dollar versus Canadian dollar. You'll see it says ongoing trend. That means it's been going on for, in this case, one day. Okay, some of them longer time periods, and if you look on the weekly, you'll have different time periods also. Now you'll see a lot of these are very new, and that's because we just went through a market shift. All right, now if you go to, like, let's say an asset that's more consistent in nature, like the indices, you'll start to see the trends are way longer than a Forex currency pairs. All right, like you have the dollar here, DXY at 44 days, things like that, 10 weeks, 14 days, 33 days on another one here. So you'll start to see, depending on the asset, they each take on their own characteristic. So, but nonetheless, that's what that means, ongoing trend. It just tells you how many days that asset has been going in that direction according to the Forex helper strategy, whether it's current market movement or current market value, CMM or CMV. New trend just means that it changed direction. So it probably was going up, okay, like that up arrow we got here, it was probably going up, going in a buy direction for quite some time, and then it changed direction. Okay, you'll have that take place. In that case, whenever you see a new trend, you'll always see a zero. So that's also an indicator. A new trend is always accompanied by zero. That means it just happened. So when this update is completed for today, Tuesday, the new trends that you'll see on the daily, I'm sorry, not the daily, but the new trends that you'll see on the current market movement, you'll see that it's monitored in days. So you'll see that it'll change. So if we have one that's a new trend here, like Euro CAD, okay, that's a new trend as of yesterday. So it's been a complete day now. That will change. You'll no longer see the word new trend. You'll see ongoing trend for one day. That's all that means. So new trend always represents a brand new start for that asset, whichever direction it's going. All right. So stress basically is just an indicator for you to know what's going on with that asset. If that asset is going through some type of volatility, is really what it is. So, and that will give you as an investor the opportunity to either make a better decision on your on your investment. So if you want to continue to hold on to it, you can. If you're the type of investor that prefers to not get into an asset off the jump that will encounter stress at the beginning, then that will give you an indicator. Say, you know what, I'll not take that asset right now. These are visuals and aids to assist the wise investor. There's so many types of different wise investors out there. Some with higher risk tolerance, some with lower risk tolerance. Whichever you are, this will be able to help you make the decision that you need to make. Some are going to focus on current market value. Some will focus on current market movement. So if you're one who's going to focus on current market value, you may, want to collect your profit at the end of the week, or you're the type of investor that want to collect your profit at the end of 2 weeks, or there's so many different types, but this guide helps every level, every type of investor that we have in our network. So use this, mess around with it, utilize it, understand it. Once you get the hang of it, it's going to be as easy as, knowing your name. I don't know. It's going to be very simple. All right. Current market movement. I went over this already on a previous video, but it gives you basically to sum it up, current market movement for those who are interested in holding their trades short term. Okay. And now if, we'll talk about this here. You'll notice on here, there's the 1 day to upwards of 1 to 3 months. So, it could go anywhere in between that time. Sometimes you have current market movement in 2-3 days, you're making profit. I mean, usually that's the case. So if you're that type of investor, I mean, I don't normally encourage that. So you don't really hear too much talk about me, telling you to place your trades, collect your money at 3-4 days. I used to. When I first started, you'll see the older videos. I have tons of videos in the past, 2016, 2017 videos where, we held our trade for a week, 3 days, 4 days, and we made such and such profit. All right. Now, if that's your forte, then that's the type of investor that you are. It's a little bit more risk involved, but there's profit if you utilize this report. Okay. It looks like I might have to kind of wrap this one up. So I definitely will have to make another one that will close out, and I'll make that one more of a case study. I'll go over some of these examples on the report. Current market value, much long term. So you're going to see a lot of up and downs. You'll probably see yourself go into drawdown phase for a little bit, and then go up in profit phase, and then another series of drawdown phase. You'll have upwards up to 2 or 3 cycles of drawdown phase before you enter into what we call profit zone. It's just basically a continuous profit. I'll show you on the case study on the next video what I'm talking about. You'll see a visual of actual trades. I'll break it down much more clearer for you all, so you guys can really get a visual understanding of what I'm talking about here in relation to MetaTrader 4 account. I'll go back and forth here between the report and the MetaTrader account, so you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Weeks, pretty much self-explanatory. You'll see weeks associated with current market value because it's designed to be held for such a long period of time. We only update current market value. Actually, this is important for me to say. We only update current market value once a week. It's here, right here. You can see that it's updated once a week at the beginning of every week. So every Monday, if you're trading current market value, then you're pretty much gonna only want to look out for Monday. And they're pretty consistent, to be honest with you. I mean, you'll see some new trends take place in current market value like you just see right now. That's because there are times during the year, certain points in times during the year, where you're going to have an asset or a series of assets in one given market, okay, that will all change at the same time. So you follow what I'm saying? So you'll have, for example, out of the 30 Forex assets that you see on this here documented report, you'll have let's say 20 of them. I mean, that's a huge number of changes, okay? You'll have 20 of them that'll change in one given time, all right? So that's a huge number of changes for any market. That's what we call a total market shift. So you have that happen maybe 3 to 4 times a year, depending on, what's going on. And that's what we just encountered. So that's why you see a lot of new trends on the current market value. All right. Okay. So, but on average, if you're holding on current market value, you're going to be holding on for quite a while, and you'll be making some profits if you're that patient, long-term, wise investor. And that's the one I really encourage you to be. It's a lot harder. I understand that. If you feel like you need to work your way up there, I understand that as well. I mean, who am I to judge? Who am I to make you be a certain way when it comes to an investor? All right. We all have to find our right place where we're comfortable with and work it there, master it. If you want to be a current market movement wise investor, we'll work it there, master it. We're going to be here to help you. We're going to be here to make sure these updates are out every day so you could stay on top of what you need to do, etc. Okay? All right, let me try to wrap this up. Oh, yeah, okay, well, there you go. I'm done. That's the last part. I'm going to see you on the last part of this video series. So stay tuned. And I hope you guys are excited because there's a lot of opportunities that are coming. There's a lot of opportunities that are actually here, and don't miss out. Don't miss out. This is the time. You don't want to miss out right now. Out of all times, that it's actually very, very much more self-explanatory. If you don't see that, then I don't know. You should be able to see that. These are the times where you need to really get yourself financially stable, financially prepared, because there's a lot going on. Okay, not for this video, but I'll see you on the next video. Okay, remember, only winners invest in their minds for wiser returns. God bless.